Hello, everybody. Welcome to When in Rome's first vidcast episode, Into the Wild. We have our hosts here.
Hello, this is Julie.
I'm Harry, your co-host.
I am Vincenzo, Spotlight in Rome.
I'm Christian. I'm just an extra.
I'm Magali and I'm doing the news today.
I'm Sarah and I'm doing the review.
My name is Malo and I'll be interviewing my special guest, Chris Brown.
All right, that's awesome. We got a lot of content
Which is
to
not
go
the
through.
singer. I'm confused.
We could always believe.
Do that.
You just
Got
gotta
a lot of-
pretend, envision, and you'll be fine.
Okay, well, I guess that is the introduction of our show. Welcome everyone today to the viewers. Thank you for seeing our faces officially. We've been on a podcast for the past three shows, so super glad to all be here. I want everyone to just go around for the little introduction. Say your favorite gelato combination, just for fun. Mine is strawberry and milk chocolate, so...
That is a good one. I don't venture much out into the fruity side of things. I stay more on the hazelnut and chocolate route. So pretty basic, but that's my go-to.
Lemon and dark chocolate.
Am I limited to just 2 flavors? Can I say 3?
Take it away. You
All
do
right,
you.
so I got 3. I got strawberry, dark chocolate, and mint.
Mint.
Interesting.
Wow.
Gotta keep
Yeah.
my breath fresh sometimes.
For me, it would be cookies and cream, or yogurt, or biscuits, or I don't know, like anything, but except from
Biscuits?
hazelnuts.
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
sorry.
That pierced my heart a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
Mine is Nutella and pistachio.
Ooh, I had pistachio
Pistachio,
yesterday.
Pistachio.
Oh, it was different.
Time away. All right.
Pistachio.
All right. We're getting defensive here.
different?
For me, that would be
No, it's the
mango, pistachio, and yogurt.
Pistachio.
Thank
Mango is definitely up there.
Mango is up there. I do like mango
Mango's
too.
Yogurt.
There's a
We're gonna keep it
pronunciation
tropical.
Pretty good.
argument in there.
Ooh,
Pronunciation
I would
argument.
say
Pistachio.
it's a hard question. I like a lot of ice cream.
All of the flavors.
Tiramisu is really good, but only in the North. And yeah, I guess cookies.
Cool.
And what about Federica back there? We didn't.
Maybe mint and Oreo. It's like the biscuits.
Yeah, wait, why haven't you introduced yourself?
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, Federica.
Yes, I'm Federica and I'm the audio engineer today.
Yeah, she is. Okay, awesome. So last week we talked about a lot of things with Rome, traveling, beaches, other random things to do, and special events. We even heard from a guest, Marsha. She is a comedian, and so don't forget, if you haven't watched that video, to the viewers, go listen to that. It's on SoundCloud. So today, with that being said, I want to kind of just talk about what y'all did this weekend. Any fun adventures, beaches? Like, did y'all? I know Harry, you went to Florence. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, yeah, we had a great weekend. On Friday, we actually went to Pisa, so we got to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh.
And then Saturday, went to Florence. And then on Sunday, we had an amazing visit at a wine vineyard. So I was spoiled this weekend, and then I came back to school and had a paper due and a presentation. So I kind of wish I was stuck in this weekend. but
I
it was-
don't blame you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, though.
So you went to Florence. Have you tried the famous Florentine steak?
No, I did not. I was just blown away by Florence, honestly. I'd heard great things about it, but it's one thing to see it. I mean, I want to go back for sure sometime. But
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah.
We have to go to Florence.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. But what about the rest of y'all? What did you do, Vince?
I didn't do much. Me and Mala just,
As always.
as always,
As-
went
Stay
to a bar.
home and at night go to G-Bar, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few clubs too.
What clubs?
For example,
Oh no, we went to Pistachio and went to another club that I can recall with my special guest here.
Oh, we don't want to spoil it too much, though. Christian, what did you do?
So I went to Capri, and we were as well as Naples and Sorrento. I was only briefly in Naples. We stayed in Sorrento, and then we spent an entire day on Capri.
What did you think of
Nice.
Capri?
social.
And
I-
Christian had motion sickness.
So-
Literally, he was on the boat. He was like,
Oh yeah, I know. Something happened on the way. So I do get motion sickness. I'm very prone to it. Actually, recently I've been more prone to it than earlier throughout my high school. But anyway, the boat ride to Capri, I was fine. I took a boat ride for 2 hours around Capri. I was fine. On the way back, I got really dizzy to the point that I could not see straight. And according to others, I was kind of almost like hallucinating. It was like I was on drugs. Like I was just swaying. I was swaying back and forth and laughing.
I should have filmed it.
When I got off the boat, I think my apartment mate Nelson did record it. I'm not sure if he saved it, but he posted it on Snapchat.
Oh no.
But pretty much, I got off the boat and I had a headache. I still couldn't see straight, but it was just like it was like I was spinning on a chair for the entire boat ride, which is half an hour. And when you spin in a chair and you start getting dizzy, your world starts like rotating, right? You see stuff going by, it starts like, slanted. That was my entire boat ride. When I got off, it was still kind of like that. I couldn't do like the fine movements and stuff like that. And it got to the point like I had to go on a walk with my apartment mates. I eventually passed out, woke up with a blistering headache, and I was probably worse. It was about 4 or 5 hours before I completely recovered. But that was really adventure. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed Capri. I also almost died at Capri too.
Wow,
What happened?
this weekend was a lot, I guess.
Yeah, no, I was all over the place. So we took a boat ride around Capri, around the island, and I didn't realize that we didn't really sign any waivers, and there weren't really much like regulations for whatever boat ride we took. And so this guy, our driver just stops in front of an entire cliff face, and he just like points to the cliff face and says, "Jump off the boat, swim to the cliff face. You'll see a cave, and you can swim in the cave and see inside it." All of us, the 6 guys that I was with, we were like, "Oh, let's do that." I'm an okay swimmer, so I swam, got to the cliff face, and sure enough, there's a hole in this cliff face about the size of your head. And so we got in there, and when we got in there, the water kept rising and lowering, so it was closing off the entrance and showing it, as well as like spraying mist in and out. It was really cool, but I kind of panicked because I was already starting to get tired out from swimming, and the entrance was closing off because of the water, so it was like a really scary experience for me. So I kind of tried to swim out. I was panicking. I was like, I was shouting to the driver to help me because I was like full panic. I didn't know what to do. And the driver the entire time was like motioning his hands down, like, "Calm down. You're fine. You're fine." And I'm there panicking. Eventually, like, it came to my senses, and I just, laid on my back and floated in the water and just let myself like calm down. And then I just treaded to the boat. But it was really a scary experience. My apartment mates, they were going underneath the walls of the cave, inside the cave, to find other caves and doing all this kind of stuff. For me, I was scared out of my mind. Like, just the fact the water was closing off the entrance, I was already feeling like I was trapped inside this cave, and the water levels would rise.
What an
and I would drown.
experience!
Oh yeah, that's
so
an
this weekend
experience.
sounds like so much craziness, dizziness. People stayed in Rome or went to Capri, Florence. It sounds incredible. So now we're back into the wild in Rome once again here at school and whatnot. Let's talk about the city life and everything that encompasses that. You want to go on with that, Harry?
Yeah. Okay. I've got a question. I guess for the residents more so. When you're in the streets walking around and you have the people that come up and try to sell you things, what is your go-to method for getting them away from you?
I don't have money.
That
Puts you on an equal plane. Like it puts you on.
I mean, they are ruthless, man. They come up, especially when they see you talking.
There's a very good technique. You just get one bracelet and you keep it forever, and you're like, I just bought.
Okay.
But what about the roses and the
But
pictures?
No, I don't have money.
You pretend you don't speak the
I just
language.
say no gracia and give them a little
that's just
scowl, and
go-to.
then they're
No,
it's
like
good.
last time I was on the Gianicolo terrace, and then I was just speaking with a friend, and then I felt something on my left shoulder, and I turned, and there was this guy like just left a rose on my shoulder, and he left. I'm like, "Hey, no, just take it. Hey, what are you doing?" And they said, "Okay, you don't want this, then I'm gonna give you 2 bracelets for free. Don't worry, I don't need money, blah blah blah." And then he left, and I got 2 bracelets for free, like this. But okay,
Girls power.
Yes.
yeah, maybe.
I feel like that's not the story.
My original
I still have it.
My original go-to was to speak Polish because I know the language, and eventually one guy got really really upset at me and got really aggressive. So now I just walk like I have a purpose and just try to
that's
get
what
somewhere
do.
as quick as I
just don't make
can.
eye contact, don't look interested, or else.
But also
Yeah.
today, like Federica, we were in the car and there was the right door open
Stay
because
tuned
we
for
were
this.
smoking, and then we were speaking, and then we just saw black hand coming into the
car.
I'm like, what is it? What is he doing? Please, can you give me money? We were like, hey, but just come in the car with us. It's fine. Let's have a coffee. I mean, we're all together. I don't know. They just want to, I don't know.
Wait, you were inviting a
aggressive.
stranger into your car?
No. he was about to get in the car. Seriously. I'm
Okay, I
like,
get it.
okay, just, I don't know.
Don't want that to
Keep
happen.
calm.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's got its own kind of wilderness here in Rome, I guess. You know, it's a.
I mean, one of the
Yeah.
things you could always do is like either speak another language, like
Yeah.
Christian, or pretend they're not there. I know it's like kind of rude, but you know,
Honestly,
Oh, well, no,
that's the
you
thing.
see you.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
When
They're
you
too
tell them
pushy.
you don't have money, it's neither rude or it's not like you're avoiding them or anything. It's just
I feel like-
buddy, I don't have money.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
one of
Yeah,
my
I agree.
one of my apartment mates have said multiple times, I don't have money, and they would be like, oh, I know that's a lie. I can see what so and so in your pocket, and I feel like they
Can't see
always got
nothing.
you.
What are you talking about? What is this?
You're not supposed to like feel obligated to
I
like,
get-
answer
that's
their
very true.
questions.
That's
you
very
know?
true.
Trap a lot of people.
That's
What is
man.
this,
That's-
bro?
Especially like from like some of Southern Americans from like the South. You know, you come in, it's kind of a different culture, so you're not used to being rude, just telling somebody to leave. At least from like where I'm from. So I know for a lot of people from the South coming in, it's kind of tough to put on that tough
Yeah.
face, but you know, you got to get used to it.
They're invading our personal space, but like, yeah, because my mom warned me about it. So then I knew coming in that like if they try to give it to you, they're gonna make you pay for it. It's not
Yeah, so
free.
just
I was
you
like,
know,
oh, okay.
that's my biggest advice
The
coming
thing
from the
is-
South.
Yeah,
If
that's very
anyone's,
true.
like,
Well, most of the
coming
time
in.
they don't harass me. I mean, I speak French and they speak French, or I speak their own language a lot, and they don't bother me. You just say
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I don't have anything today, brother, and then they
Yeah,
leave.
that's
Just
what I was
be-
gonna say
Exactly.
too.
Just be
That's-
polite, respect the person, and they'll leave. Yeah.
But
If
like,
they insist, you just walk away. That's it.
Yeah.
in my town,
Yeah. Sure.
it said like, no, in Naples actually, the Italians do it like so much. They just see you, they have tissues, like packs of tissues, like huge, and then they have socks, and they just follow you until they just follow you wherever, you know?
Yeah.
And so you cannot
Yeah.
even say no, please just get away because they have no jobs, blah blah, or they want to buy drugs, stuff like that.
I-
So they just follow you.
In Italy, we call them vukumpra.
What's that mean?
It's like, do you want to buy?
Oh yeah.
So we,
It sounds fitting. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we officially introduced the title of this podcast, but maybe we did, Into the Wild. And so,
I did.
okay, you did. Okay, I'm so sorry. You probably did. I'm so sorry. But anyways, going off of it, like, well, in the wild, it's like noisy and stuff, you know? Like, so what's it like
It's
the
unknown.
city life, being noisy,
Oh my
constant
God.
noises, sirens? Or is
Seriously.
it quiet and peaceful?
Seriously, I
Do
don't sleep
inform.
anymore.
Oh, no.
I don't
Yes.
sleep anymore.
Please sleep.
I
No, like I live next to the station, the train station, and it's impossible. And then the traffic, and then the klaxons, the tram, the
So
noise of the tram.
do you have your windows open, or do you have air conditioning, fan?
I don't
What do
have
you-
AC. I'm kind
You
of
have your
almost
windows
up.
open, so it's more
No.
noisy.
no, because if I have the fan, the air it's warm.
It'll make
so
you
it has
sick.
no sense.
The air, that's what made me sick,
You
I
want-
think.
yeah, I know. I told you guys all the
Sarah.
time.
Yeah,
Just
I feel you.
You know what you
So-
can, you know what you can do? You can put a cold bottle of water in front of the fan, and then you have the fresh.
Moist air.
That's
That's a trick.
life hacks right
That's
here,
smart. That's very smart.
Actually, smart.
Wait, why does that help?
Because it has to be freeze, and then you have the cold air if you put it right in
okay.
front.
So cold water.
Yeah, like a bottle of
frozen.
cold water.
Frozen water.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
And it helps actually.
personally, I can definitely handle the sirens. I can handle the tram and trains and stuff like that. But it's always the 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. motorcyclists that go deciding to make a ton of noise, revving it up. Those always wake me up, and those always give me a heart attack in the morning.
Yeah, I think instead of having it like a rooster that wakes you up in the morning, it's definitely just somebody blaring on their horn at like
Oh, for
5,
sure.
6, 7, 8 a.m. It's like a constant alarm, and that's how I finally get up, start my day.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't really have a problem because the area I live is quite quiet.
Where? Where do you live?
Vigna Saludi, that is like on Corso Francia, where there's barely anyone during the night.
Yeah.
So it's quite quiet, there's nothing around, so I never had that problem.
Yeah, but in the city, in the center of the city.
Well, in the center of the city, then it's another issue.
I can relate to what Christian said. There's always like, sorry, but there's always like this asshole that always try to pop a wheelie and goes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I'm like, all right.
No, but living in Trastevere or close to school, it's impossible.
Yeah, that's where I live, Monteverde.
Yeah, so much traffic.
So much ambulances all the time.
Yeah, and plus I
You know what's the
live
worst?
like between the train station and the hospital
me
San
too.
Camillo. Like I live in the middle, so I cannot see.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel that too.
The worst is when they double park, and the one who parked first wants to get out, but the owner of the second car is nowhere to be found. So they're just like honking and honking and honking. I'm like,
Walking to school the other day, I saw a car that was surrounded on all four edges by cars, and it looked like they were almost bumper to bumper. All the cars were empty. I feel bad for that guy that's in the middle, and even on the edge because it was all against the curb. It's like 3 layers thick, and then a car in front and back in that middle one. It's bizarre, crazy.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of noise in Rome.
That would be towed away straight away, like in the States, right? They would tow away the cars, right?
They probably I wouldn't say straight away, but you would get ticketed for sure, and then after maybe an hour, you'd get towed away. So something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Magali, what's it? So coming from Belgium, you said this noise really bothers you a lot. So where you're from in Belgium, is it kind of more quiet? I guess.
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. Even if you live near the city center, it's never that noisy. Like really, you never have that much people so late and early at the same time. Like it's really an experience. I cannot sleep.
So 2 questions. So before we get into like public transportation, real quick, I want to ask, like, since it's so noisy, are y'all able to find like a quiet place or some secret hidden park that y'all go to maybe get away from all the noise?
I mean, I always go to Villa Pamphili.
Yeah, guys,
which is like
Pamphili
huge.
is the best.
It's so big that at some point you just don't hear cars anymore.
It is a park.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds nice.
Where is it compared to campus?
It's like right here.
The one right across. Okay, that's my place.
No. That's Villa Shara. Villa Shara is much smaller.
Way smaller.
This I'm talking about like acres and acres of park.
Really?
It's close to the soccer stadium.
Okay.
To the Trastevere
That
soccer
sounds
stadium.
nice.
Yeah.
No, okay.
No, do you know?
We'll Google it. We're good.
Maybe our viewers will want to go.
Yeah, they can Google
So
it.
you can go. Okay.
Oh no,
Google it. They can Google it.
You
It's
do
fine.
you.
Google is your friend. Let's do it.
Yeah. What about the rest of y'all though? What other spots? So we got parks. Anywhere like any local shops or anything to kind of relax, or do you like to go into total silence or what?
I think the solution really is to go where there's more noise. This way you get like desensitized to like the minor noises of the ambulances and the motorcycles.
No, man,
etc.
now I'm used to it. I don't hear it anymore. It's like it's in my head.
So when you're driving, you'll not hear the ambulances or the police officers
Yes,
behind
I'm
you.
like, okay, I'm very used. I just keep on sleeping.
For me, I
I'm
feel like-
always awake.
Yeah, I'll like take a nap or read a book or do some yoga. That's just me.
Calm
But-
yourself from the noise.
Well, I don't think I'm like, it's not much the noise, more just life, I guess. But noise doesn't bother me. I sleep like a baby.
City life is getting stressful.
Yeah. What about, so public transportation? Comments. So much goes on in that. It's very chaotic.
Oh yeah.
Traffic, or like, I don't know, it's super crowded in the morning, you know?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, I did,
Vince, you did an interview?
I didn't do an interview, but I did like kind of a film about it. Today was strange because there were barely anyone, even in
Really?
rush hour. I didn't wait for so long, but like going towards school, that's when the buses didn't show up.
Oh.
But today was just an exception. Normally,
Yeah.
it would take quite a while. Also, the fact that I live far away, it would take me roughly an hour and a half to come here. Today, surprising, took only 30, 40
Yeah,
minutes.
I noticed today there weren't many people on public
strange.
transportation today.
I have a
Wonder
feeling
why.
because it's also the fact that Italian schools are already finished.
Oh, yeah, that could
yeah.
very much
Yeah,
be.
I was wondering because when I walked to school and some shops and grocery stores were closed.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a special day, but you
I
were saying.
don't think it's a special day. I think
So-
some of these
Oh.
things are having like 1 week, 2 weeks holiday, but normally for school they're like probably finished, so they go out of Rome like to
Yeah.
like their
Some holidays,
hometown
yeah.
or something like that.
So I just want to touch, like, so for the viewers know that the buses are very unreliable and
Oh,
they
so
come really
unreliable.
late. Actually, Katya today, like, she came really late to class. She said the bus, like, she waited 50 minutes or 30 minutes and they came, then she was like 2 hours, like, behind schedule. Or she left 2 hours early, and so.
Yeah, I had some friends last week. They were on an on-site class, so they were in one of somewhere, I can't remember where, off campus, and so they had to take a bus back. They got on the bus. The bus driver goes like 2 stops, gets off to have a cigarette break, comes back on and tells them, "Sorry, you got to get on another bus," and so just
Wow.
it's all kind of chaos. But Federico, what were we about to say?
Buses in Rome are also dangerous. I don't know if you guys know, but in the last 2 months, 2 buses exploded.
What?
What?
Why did they explode?
Yeah, but they exploded because not because of it was not something related to terrorism. Why?
No, it's just
It was because it was too old, the bus. Yeah,
But it happened a few times,
yeah, it happened 2
I was
times.
gonna talk about that.
I don't know what happened.
Cool.
Seriously.
All right, we'll pick up on this, but let's go ahead and go to your video.
Right.
Today, for the Spotlight in Rome, I'll be talking about the public transportation in Rome. As you know, public transportation in Rome is either awful or practically non-existent. Well, mostly for the buses, since they choose to come whenever they want, or the driver doesn't want to show up. However, today I decided to use the public transportation, and today was a special and very interesting time, since the bus I didn't need to wait for that long. Well, I started my journey from Corso Francia, took the first bus to Mancini, and around 10, which when I was waiting for bus, which was quite odd. I didn't see many people waiting for the bus, and it took 30 and it arrived in 20 or 30 minutes, which for me is not that long. Normally you could wait for an hour for this bus, because normally there was traffic, and today surprisingly there was not. And furthermore, when I arrived to Mancini, which was the terminal for most of the buses in that area, it shocked me to see that there were not so many people waiting for the buses, and also inside the buses. For the first bus that I took, there were barely any people inside, which was quite shocking. Normally, at that time, you would see many people on the bus going to work or going to other locations. And once I arrived to Mancini, I had a look around the terminal, and to my surprise, there were not many people waiting for the other buses. And while I was waiting for my other bus to go to school, there were barely anyone. And once the bus arrived, which surprisingly for this bus that goes all the way to Trastevere, took relatively fast. I just waited for 5 minutes. And when it arrived, I jumped on the bus. Took 10 minutes before the driver decided to show up, which normally could take 30 minutes. And then jumped on the bus, went all the my way to the hospital Santo Spirito, and during my voyage, let's say, there were not, to my surprise, there were not many people waiting for the bus. There were not many people inside the bus. It was quiet, and there was not, surprisingly, there was no traffic, which normally could take me an hour, took me 30 minutes. And then I jumped off and waited for the 870. Now there is where the real Rome started. The real public transportation started. When I was waiting for the bus there, the 870 that goes up to Via Carini, I saw an amount of people waiting for the bus. It seemed there was the same 64 or 40 arriving, coming and going, but not the 870. And many people were still waiting for the buses. People keep coming, people were really, maybe, well, that's because there is also the hospital there. And finally, after waiting another, 45 minutes now, for a trip that could take me 10 minutes, finally arrived. And it was packed. It was packed. There was no place to sit. And also the fact that they decided, for some strange reason, the 870 should be a really small bus. So everyone was squished in, nowhere to sit. And it was quite hot and damp inside. And apart from the fact that there was no room, it was a quick ride. So, in conclusion, if you want to take public transportation, you should be careful. You should know that taking, especially the bus here, it would take you could wait for a bus for an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Don't trust what the schedule says, because it's most of the time never on time. I suggest you to download an app for when the buses come, but then again, those, you don't know if they're gonna come or not. For another transportation, my best advice would be for you guys, for anyone taking public transportation that don't want to wait for that long, the metro or the train.
All right. Thank you, Vince, for that video.
No worries.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So
Thank you a lot.
obviously we know the public transportation here is something. I'm glad I don't have to experience the other extreme of driving.
Oh no.
In Italy, or specifically in Rome. According to Brian, Rome is the worst place to drive. Who all has driven here actually in Rome?
Me.
Okay.
Motorcycles only, so it was easy.
Motors.
You have a motorcycle?
Yeah, guys,
No,
I
no,
think
friend
the
of mine.
motorbike, like the motorcycle, whatever. What's the difference between a motorbike and a
Nothing.
I almost got hit by one today.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
Yeah, I think
And,
motorcycle is more convenient.
Yeah,
than
it's
city
the
road.
it's the solution because you can park it everywhere. So I really don't advise to have a car here in Rome.
Unless
Like,
you have a smart.
yeah, unless you have a smart. But the motorcycle,
Super convenient, but really busy though.
motorcycle.
So yesterday it rained very, very hard, and a lot of car alarms were going off. And to me, that's very unusual because when it rains, why would a car alarm go off? Is there any reason behind that?
Maybe it was hailing. I don't know.
Just
I don't think
I
it was
actually
hailing.
don't
don't
know
think it was,
about
but-
it.
is it like a normal thing?
No, not
It happens. Yeah, it happens pretty frequently actually. Whenever like rains strong, it happens.
I never.
I
That's
didn't hear
sensitive.
anything yesterday. But yeah, but I know the wind was really strong though.
Yes.
Because my clothes
Yeah.
were almost like flew away from my balcony. So
Really?
Even this
maybe
morning
the
was
cars are
quite
too sensitive.
strong, the wind.
Yeah, but it felt good because it was really hot already. So
Considering driving, so only a few of us have actually driven. So then I guess on the other side, while we're like some people are driving, the other people were walking across the street, I guess. What is y'all's experience coming into like drivers and then you being a pedestrian? Like I see a lot of tourists, they're very hesitant walking. I feel like living here a little bit. Now I feel like I'm like, oh, walk with purpose. Let's go.
Walk with purpose. That's what I do. I always walk with purpose. I do not hesitate. And I've done well, surprisingly. I mean, not hesitating is better than hesitating.
Yeah. Well, it depends though, because like sometimes they don't stop.
Yeah.
Like you just like sometimes I cross and then they just go in front of me and I'm like,
because if you drive, like I'm speaking as a driver, if you drive, I need to go fast as possible. Because
what is your
I need to move on. Like
what about pedestrian safety?
Sarah, what is your exact mindset as you drive? Please inform us. Like,
because I need to go fast because I have to move on because there is always traffic every single hour of the day.
So you see me trying to cross the street.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
What do you say?
I'm trying to cross the street. What are you thinking?
Okay, if you're going very slow, I just go as fast as possible. I say trying to avoid
Walk
you.
with purpose.
But if you're kind of running or something or in a rush, I stop. I see the time because like I live close to school, but I come with the car because, as I said before, I live close to Trastevere station, which is like 15 minutes with the car, but it's always half an hour. Like if there is traffic during the morning, because there is always the I don't know how to say it in English. Semaforo. Traffic light. It's always red every single time. Like I brought the car here to say, okay, I'm safe from transportations. I don't have to wait, but just like I end up waiting in the car, sweating because the AC doesn't even work in the car, and just smoking cigarettes is crazy because I'm nervous all the time. And then the usual on the streets. I just run. And also Rome is very confusing. Like I'm not from Rome, so I always have to use the maps to search for the place, and I always take the wrong street, and then I have to do the circle back again, and then I have to go there back again, and I just get lost with the car, which is not good. It's not good.
To talk about the safety of pedestrian, we have like a few friends from here that got like run over actually right here.
Oh my
God.
Exactly.
I was there.
The other podcast.
Wait, when was that?
One of them.
And
when?
Saja. It was like last semester.
Oh, okay.
More was last year. Shane was last year.
Shane was last year, but Saja was last semester.
He got hit by a car and he broke
his kneecap and everything.
And bones, and he was in the hospital for a couple of months.
But he got
I was there. It was horrible. Like, I was there.
Oh my
Okay.
God. I really
the one I remember this.
I want to see
Also,
you
to make it
driving
worse,
now.
it was during
because
final period of finals.
Because guys, I don't understand. There is the traffic light close to this building, to Carini, that when you cross the street, when it's green for you, it's also green for the cars
that turn right.
that are going. That they are going left. Like they're going right for you because you're crossing the street, but they're going left, no? So there is this thing that you're just guessing who's going first. You don't know.
It's always the pedestrian if you're on the crosswalk.
Yeah.
And if the
but
lights,
if you have to go fast, it's not pedestrian.
they have to stop.
According to the law,
No, I know. You have to stop. Otherwise, I mean, if someone dies, I mean, it's not.
So
Pedestrians, make sure you're watching, but also walk with purpose. Don't hesitate. And so now I want to see Sarah.
I just licked the mic.
Oh my God. Y'all were driving. Was it this morning in like rush hour traffic?
You don't wanna. No, actually, you wanna know about this morning and about this, like me and Federica.
Wait, we should watch it before we go
Yeah, you
into
should
it, right?
watch.
Okay, let's watch it right now.
This video like will show the stereotypes
And
of
then we'll talk
an
about
Italian and an Italian driver in Rome. So
all right,
enjoy, guys.
let's see the video.
Check it out.
Video.
All right.
It was
Loved it.
really
Thank you
nice.
for that hilarious video.
You want to tell us about the place and where you were, why you're doing so
Yes.
many things, and what time?
Because
of day?
that's what we do while we are in the car, like friends, just girlfriends being in the car. Just as we were so late to go to class, like we tried to avoid the traffic, and it was impossible. We tried to put on some makeup
I feel
because.
like you put lipstick on like 3 times.
Yeah, because I couldn't see very well in the mirror in the car, and I.
Huge holes in the street, like there's these huge holes.
Yeah, there was
in the street,
huge
and
also. While I was putting it, she was holding the.
Steering wheel.
Yes, and nothing. We just got in a huge hole, and then my lipstick went on my cheek, and then yeah,
That was so funny.
That was
it was a mess. It was a mess.
Italian are the sun.
The Joker.
Yeah, and also we used to do pre-games in the car while going to the club.
Oh my.
I don't know.
Oh my.
I mean, you can do anything
Yeah,
With that being
there's no
said-
because you will
Sad.
spend half of your day in the car.
Yeah.
Might as well
Yeah,
enjoy
the
it.
traffic-
Even to
not
go
drinking
out,
drive,
you have
yours.
traffic.
Yeah.
Did you
Don't
just
condemn
confess to a crime?
but that's what.
Anyways, with that
I mean, oh, guys, there was the police behind us, and they didn't do anything. We were speaking on the phone. We were smoking cigarettes. Actually, it's not even allowed to smoke while you're driving.
Oh my
It's not
gosh,
allowed.
so what not to do? Oh no.
Yeah, but
gonna
just
be-
like it's culture. That's how we grew up.
Right, it's
You
culture.
have to take risks.
It's culture to kill people while you drive.
Maybe be safe.
Of course, you
Alright.
don't have to.
Alright.
So,
Do what I-
So-
With that being said.
No. Just don't follow me. I'm just showing you what not to do.
all right.
Okay, that's what not to
It
do.
wasn't.
So Harry's
video
gonna
of awareness.
introduce us to the next segment.
Yes, well, thank you again for showing us how Italians drive, for scaring future visitors.
Don't drive like me.
But we're going to hand it over to Malo, who is a
remember.
frequent at G-Bar and along with his
Yes,
friend.
sir.
So Malo, what's you introduce?
Yeah, this ain't Vincenzo. That's all I.
No, I know they look alike, but I'd like to welcome a special guest in the building, G-Bar's bartender, Chris Brown.
All right, good evening, good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to our American viewers.
How you feeling today, Chris?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a few questions for you today.
Tell me.
You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm always ready. It's a beautiful day, beautiful people. It's beautiful as
Oh,
ever.
thank
out
you.
there.
I appreciate that. All right, bro. So I have like a basic question before I'm going to some more random questions. What made you move to Italy?
Oh wow, that's a long story. You know, I'm half European and half American.
Okay.
So between my life, I've been half and half between 2 continents my whole life. It was split. You know, it seemed convenient for me to come to Italy. It was warm, it was hot, it was something that I'm used to. In America, I'm from the South. You know, it's
Okay.
always warm, it's always humid,
What
it's
about the
relaxed. It's a little between Louisiana and Arkansas. You know, between the two, I lived for 9 years.
Okay.
And I felt that Italy and Europe was similar in the way with the culture was very relaxed. And, you know, I could be out in the open and I could be close to the ocean if I wanted to. And, you know, just everything was relaxed. And the food, oh man, it was beautiful. You know,
Yeah. You like the food here?
I love the food. Well, what's go wrong? You know, you can eat pasta every day for 20 cents. You buy a pound of pasta.
Very true. Very true.
Right?
Tell us a little bit more about your work, your job. You know, like as a bartender, like how is the nightlife here?
Oh, the nightlife. I worked in Trastevere, which is, you know, a circus at night. Or monkeys in the jungle. That's what it feels like.
Very true.
Got to fight you off. Every night's crowded. You know, Monday through Sunday, 24/7. You know, it's just always there. It's always working. I'm a bartender at a very popular international bar. It's one of the most popular bars in Trastevere, if not the most popular. Always crowded, always wild. I'm always seeing different people come through. You know, I just had this conversation the other day. I've probably met 2,000 people in the past 2 years.
That's a
Wow.
Yeah.
different cultures, obviously, right?
Different cultures. I meet people of every day, every origin, and it's really a blessing to know everyone from all over the world.
Do you feel like you get like more connection, or you can relate to like other cultures now, or like other continents?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I had a really interesting fact the other day. It actually came from the movies 6 Degrees of Separation. Everyone in the world is connected by 6 people. And
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
connected by only 6 people. And if you think about it, if you meet everyone from all over the world, I can get this connection to anyone in the world. So you have to have some sort of unity within mankind to be so close to you.
To be able to understand everybody. Okay, I got a little tricky question. Do you have any funny story or like wild anecdote
from working at a bar?
Yes.
Oh gosh, appropriate? I don't know.
Must have a lot.
Yeah, I definitely do. Let me think some good stories real quick. You know, it was pretty interesting because I had this conversation yesterday about marriage.
Yeah.
I met this couple.
While working?
Yeah, I met this couple that came in, and they're from California. They've been married for 30 years, and they were telling me that when they were 25, they got married. It was the lady was single, 25, and she had 22 employees under her, so she was well on her way. The man, I think, was 30 years old and already had 5 children.
Whoa.
Yeah, and she married him at
good combination.
And at the young age, I was just asking him so many questions about how do you do it so young, whatever. But I thought that was the most appropriate, crazy stories. Every now and then I hear crazy things and see crazy things.
What'd they tell you?
They're just telling me how marriage is giving a part of you away.
That's deep.
They're not only in love, but when you marry someone, you also take on the role of your finances, your insurance are together, raising children, and it's. If you're happy with listening to one song on an iPod for the rest of your life, every day on repeat, I mean, it's a dedication. Just think about it. And that's just in simple terms.
Man, service.
Deep Thoughts with Chris Brown.
That's a good word.
Just saying, we had this conversation yesterday, and for crazy stories, I'd say there's always crazy things. I've seen men dressed up in wedding dresses.
I've seen a lot of Italian dudes doing that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. That's our Italian friends.
I don't know if it's an Italian thing that men like to dress up in dresses.
Amazing.
I don't know. Usually, there is this kind of thing in Bologna after graduation. Young people dress like anything. I don't know, and just to have fun of themselves. Yeah, I think that their friends buy them cool dresses, like funny dresses, but I don't know why in Rome, people that are getting married do these things.
I think I saw that the other day too. This guy came in the other day and he had a basketball net on top of his head like a hat, and he was telling us to shoot it, and everyone was taking little ping pong balls out the basketball hoop and going up and dunking on this guy.
I took a picture.
I didn't take a picture, but I don't know why someone would do that to themselves. He was even wearing a jersey.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of wild stories here. Any of you guys want to share another stories
I took a picture with the guy dressed like a banana.
Yeah.
Seriously. It was interesting. He was a huge banana.
I told you, Trastevere is the jungle full of monkeys.
Yes.
I mean,
bananas.
This is nothing crazy wild, but I mean, last Thursday, me and 9 others, we went around in togas, hopping from bar to bar, and we were getting a lot of free drinks and all that kind of stuff.
I saw it.
It was a great experience. It was a great experience. I do not regret it, and everyone I was with enjoyed themselves. And it wasn't just like the bars. We'd be walking down the streets, and all of a sudden, these tourists would come up to us. Let's take your picture, and we were lining up for pictures. It actually kind of felt like we were famous or something. It was great.
What about you, Magali?
Yeah, I don't really know what to share, but the thing I observed is that in Italy you put a lot of alcohol in the cocktails compared to other. Is it just me, or do you get drunk after one cocktail?
It depends where you go.
Being a bartender, I realized that people come from so many places that they all have different preferences on alcohol. Italians want something really intricate and really well made, but also quick. Americans don't care. They just want a lot of alcohol.
Wow.
and
By the way,
something
yeah.
simple.
By the way, Chris, like last time I met you at G Bar and you made me an amazing mojito. Seriously, it was
yeah.
very good.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I knew I didn't want to offend the
Seriously.
Italians.
Yeah, Chris was on
No,
his
it
game
was
last
it was
night.
amazing.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very
Yeah,
good.
Chris was killing it last night. It's pretty crowded.
If you see the Americans come in and they all ambush me, this girl yesterday yelled in my ear for 20 minutes. 20 tequila shots. Gosh, I was like, wait. So I had, I think 12 drinks I was making. I had to remember all of them and the ingredients and how the measurements and all.
Intense.
And then on top of all that, people are screaming at me from all over the bar, and these people are yelling at me, and I have to speak 3 different languages at one time.
How many languages do you know?
I speak English, Italian, and German.
Okay.
So everyone's coming at me, and if you just imagine all the chaoticness and the loud music, and
Wow.
Especially in
always the
Chihuahua.
How do you stay sane?
But Chris, did you have to take a bartender course before starting this job?
no.
It's just a legend.
But the story is
Learn
actually
on the
funny.
spot.
I don't know
No.
because like me, I will never be able to remember
Yeah, it's
all
a
the
lot.
ingredients and then what to put first. I mean, I don't know.
You know
I
what?
will do a course before starting to work as a bartender.
Okay, but you remember the lyrics to a song, right?
What?
If you had, all right,
This is gonna-
for like your favorite songs.
Ah, yeah, okay.
You sing them every day and listen to them every day, and eventually you just know every
Yeah,
word.
but maybe I can
Competition.
remember, but I don't know the right procedure. You know, if you tell me mojito, I know that there is brown sugar, there is whatever.
Brown sugar.
And then the lime and other things. I will just put
Crushed ice.
everything inside the glass and say, okay, drink.
You know, I think the hardest part is every bartender that I work with, we all make it differently. So sometimes when I make my
Yeah.
mojitos, people will tell me, no, you're doing it wrong. But you just gotta have faith in whatever drink that I make. And usually if people tell me they don't like the drink, I'll take it back and I'll say I'll give you another one for free because I'm still learning, just as if everyone else is learning. And if you tell me to do something that I could use to improve myself, I will do.
And your boss actually told me a funny story. He told me every time you fuck up a drink, you have to re-drink it.
Mm-hmm. At first, when I was learning how to bartend,
Really?
every time I messed up a drink, I would have to drink it myself.
So you get drunk after.
Yeah, I was just very
Are you
careful.
allowed
with
to be
making
drunk on the job? Just curious.
At first, I was kind of encouraged, to be honest with you, just because I'm a little more fun, I'm a little more looser, and when you're dealing with so many people, like, when you're sober, you're thinking about every little thing,
Stressed
every
out.
little stressed and detailed. So, every now and then, I think last night I took one shot, and there's been other nights where 20 shots in.
Whoa! Wow!
And you can still work 20 shots in.
Okay,
It's over a long time,
pardon
right?
my French, but I still get my shit done. I'm a little woozy, but I still get my.
I read this quote today. It was like, being stressed doesn't look good with my outfit.
Oh,
I thought it was funny.
I love it. Matter of fact, I want to compliment you on your shirt. Official winner of the best dress.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that today.
Looking good.
I loved it. I wish I had something. My cocktails are the best.
That's awesome.
Go to Zara.
Yeah, but you're right.
All right.
I'll see you tonight.
Thank you very much, Chris, for your help and for this interview. It was a pleasure to have you. I'll see you around at G-Bar.
All right, cool. Awesome.
Sooner than later.
It's so good getting to know you.
Hey, can I shout out my guy Ray Ray?
Go for it.
Can I shout out my guy Ray Ray, D-Rec, JR?
Hey, what's up?
All right.
Shout out to you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Chris Brown. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us today, bro.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Chris, for joining in on the show. Now we have the game, guys. Today we have a new game. Okay,
I'm excited.
so
I didn't prepare for this game.
it's pretty easy.
I studied hard.
What do we do?
You just said you spoke Polish, so
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. I didn't prepare for it.
So you should have an easy time. Okay, everyone has to cannot come up, but everyone has to think of a word from their mother tongue that would be like extremely hard for foreigners to pronounce.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Is that
But
even a
is
word?
that actually a word?
Yes, it's in the
Yeah,
dictionary.
It's yeah.
It's in the vote. It's in the.
Okay, and then like everybody's gonna try to pronounce the word. No point, no winners. Doesn't matter. It's just for fun. Also, I want Katya to join in on this one too.
Yeah, Katya's going to make a guest appearance. She is from Russia, so come on in.
Hey, Katya.
Someone say beach.
Guys.
Okay, wait. You'll say it when your turn comes. All right. We'll start from our host over here.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Say it backwards.
I don't know if I'm actually saying it right.
Okay, can you change it? It's too hard in English for me.
Okay, can I do Spanish?
Can you say it again?
Yeah, sure. You can
Okay,
do
I'm gonna
Spanish.
Sara, it's very easy. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I know how to say it in Italian. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Almost. See, you're fine. You're
I know,
fine.
but it's in Italian.
Okay.
It's close enough. It's very close. It's almost exact.
Okay.
Spanish, you said, right?
Something,
Okay,
yeah.
let's hear the Spanish word.
Okay, should I do it directly at like one person to do?
No. Just
Okay,
like,
okay.
I guess we're gonna take turns trying to
Okay.
pronounce it.
Hamburguesa.
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 Sí.
Hamburguesa?
Hamburguesa.
Hamburguesa.
What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Hamburguesa.
Y papas fritas.
Mis papas fritas.
Y papas fritas. It's a hamburger with French and French fries.
That's a weird word.
That's hard.
Hamburguesa. That's my favorite Spanish word.
Let's see. To the English listeners, it's probably not a hard word for us, but I'm kind of curious to see how we got a very wide blend of cultures in here. So I kind of see how conscientious.
Conscientious?
Conscientious.
All right, that was actually-
Conscientious.
Conscious.
Conscientious.
Yeah. That was actually pretty-
Conscientious.
Well, we're gonna let Katya just destroy everybody. with
Yeah, let's
her
hear like a
Russian
super
word.
hard Russian word.
No, guys, I don't know. So, first word, it's бесперспективно.
How do you spell that?
Yes.
You see?
Yes, yes, yes.
Even for me,
I can't even
it's
remember
so
it.
hard.
Can you say
Bier
it again?
perspektina.
Бесперспективно.
Бесперспективно.
Wait.
Бесперспективно.
Бесперспективно. Бесперспективно.
Besperspektivno.
Бесперспективно.
I got it.
Wait, what does this word mean?
Aaron, but you can speak any
like not
language. You know anything.
Perspectiva.
Бесперспективно.
Besperspektivna. Did I get it right? All right, perfect.
Yes,
Point for Aaron.
Yes, perspective.
Бесперспективно.
All right, Vince. Let's hear something in Cantonese.
I'm gonna do Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Shangang.
Shangang.
Okay, that's
easy,
not hard.
Shanghai.
No.
Let me try. Shangang.
Are there different tonalities or something?
different
It's the
tone?
tone. It's
Yeah.
the tone.
Say it again.
Yeah, I knew it.
Shangang.
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 No.
Shangang.
Shangang.
Shanghai.
Close enough.
But is there a word that sounds very similar but means something else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have 4 words that can mean 4 different things.
Wow.
Wait, what's it mean?
I don't know, but the thing is, Shangang is not a word; it's a place. It means Hong Kong.
Okay.
Okay, it's an area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Katya, what did your word mean?
Is it's like not interesting. It's kind of dialect, you know?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right, let's hear a
I
Polish.
can give you an example for a word in Chinese, like ma can also
Question
mean,
mark? No?
no, it can mean cow, but if you put 2 together, it means mother.
Macau.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What?
No. Ma by itself means cow. If you put mama, it means mother.
What about ni hao ma, wo hao ma, ni hao ma?
That's
Wait, you question mark.
Ni hao is hi, no?
Yes, how you doing?
Ni hao. It's hi.
But it's,
How are you doing?
it's
How you doing?
you use it like a suffix, so it's like at the end of the sentence.
Okay.
If it's by itself, it's a different
Okay,
thing.
All right,
so
wait.
to make sure it's a question.
Let's hear a
So-
Polish word.
So I know Julie I don't remember the word specifically, but I showed Julie when we were visiting the Vatican. There was a word that was like 35 characters long. I don't remember what it was specifically, but I'll give a different word that's a little easier to start off. Niepodległości.
Oh my gosh.
Niepodległości.
Polish words are so
Aaron
long.
got it right.
Wait, say it
Nie
again.
palegoci?
Niepodległości.
Niepodległości.
Dobrze, dobrze, bravo.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
It's independence.
Oh, how do you say it again?
Independence.
Niepodległości.
Niepodległości.
It's Washchi.
Łości.
Niepodległości.
Yeah, it's like Dzień Niepodległości, Independence Day.
Dzień Niepodległości.
Yeah.
Did I get it? Dzień Niepodległości.
Well, let's see, Magali, you got a word for us?
Yeah, actually French is too easy for you guys, especially for you, Melo.
No.
So I'm gonna
Wait,
do
try me.
an Albanian word.
Okay.
So faleminderit.
Faleminderit.
I think I've heard this word before.
Yeah,
Faleminderit.
you probably have.
What does it mean?
Try.
Oof, I don't know.
Yeah, it means thank you. It's really long to say thank you to someone. But yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say something in my Italian dialect. And okay, stata corta.
Stata corta.
Stata quarto.
Stata corta.
Yeah, okay.
What does it mean?
Be careful.
Wait, so I have a question for Federica. So is that different? Like, is that pronounced differently here in Rome, or is that the same way?
No, it's so much different. It's like two different languages.
How
Yeah,
would you
it's
say
like
it?
two different
How would
things.
you say it in the Roman dialect?
Sta attento.
Wow.
Sta attento. Sta corto.
All right, Mala.
All right, I got a word in French, but that's even difficult for French speakers. So it's anticonstitutionnellement.
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 That was a good one.
Anticonstitutionnellement.
Anticonstitutionnellement.
Wait, okay, I want to try.
Give it a try, Aaron.
Anticonstitutionnellement.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
No,
He's too good at this
please,
game.
I really want to do it. Say it again.
You got it.
It means anti-constitutional, and it's like anticonstitutionnellement.
Anticonstitutionnellement.
It's like saying constitution.
I know, I can do it. Anticonstitutionnellement.
You got it. Almost.
I'm coming to Brussels.
Oh, yeah. She's like, anticonstitutionnellement. On the way to go.
I go to a bar and say anticonstitutionnellement.
What about numbers? Usually numbers are very hard to pronounce. in
Please,
different
let me
languages.
to say something in French.
Okay, so I'm
Try
gonna
to
say
say
something.
but in Roman, not in Italian.
Anticostituzionale.
That's Italian version.
Yeah.
Anticonstitutional.
Anticonstituzionale.
I think it's easier.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Guys, I try to say this in Roman, with the Roman dialect. Au andovai.
Fits like this. Like that.
Good job, guys.
Stata corta.
All right, Aaron, give us yours.
All right, guys. It's like you know the water heaters in your bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know there's like different types.
Yeah.
This is like the name of one type.
In Turkish?
In Turkish.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yoğuşturmalı.
Yoğuşturmalı.
It's yoğuşturmalı.
Justurmale.
I think we all learned a lot.
Justurmale.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I think we all.
By now, my favorite language is French. Sorry. I'm too good. Merci beaucoup.
You can come to Brussels now, or Paris, you choose.
Who's doing the
More
news
in the
today?
ghetto, Brussels.
I am.
Damsu.
All right, I think it's time for the news, right?
Okay, so I have wild news for you guys.
Whoa.
So yesterday, a teenage tourist, he's 17 years old, and he got caught trying to steal a fragment of Rome's Colosseum for a souvenir. So I thought that was interesting to share, and he got busted by the police, and when he tried to put it in his backpack, and so now he's maybe getting 5 years of prison.
No.
Yeah.
How old was he?
Yeah, 17 years old.
17. That's detrimental.
And he's Australian, by the way.
Oh, he deserves it then. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Anything against Australians?
No, nothing. They're actually really cool. I'm just joking around.
because apparently the law says when you're defacing Italia's cultural heritage or landscape, you get 5 years of prison. Italians are tough.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Going to prison for 5 years.
Living in prison is better than living
Maybe
in
we
Rome,
could-
driving and all
Maybe
these
we could
things.
interview.
Okay.
Maybe we can interview him on the next show.
Is there any,
I think he's gonna be in prison by then. But
any other news we have?
and then the local newspaper did why study in Rome for study abroad, and they came up with 3 facts why. So to work in organic farms. So if you guys are interested in that,
I have a friend that is doing that
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah, in Colorado.
Oh,
Rebecca,
Becca, yeah.
she's working in an organic farm. So she sent me all pictures of little chickens.
and then you have
And I love
it.
and then you have making professional pizza. So
Ooh, that sounds
That's
interesting.
interesting.
Pizzaiolo.
Yeah, and studying art because of the history
that
here in
makes
Rome.
sense.
So you can go check this article. It's pretty interesting if you want to stay here longer. And then there is the last news: an Italian mafioso jailed for attacking journalists this week here in Rome, and the video went viral. So you guys should check it out. And he was arrested for assault aggravated by the mafia. And apparently used by crime groups, and everyone was shocked in Italy. And now he is doing 6 years of jail. So these were
Study
my
abroad Rome.
wild news.
That is so wild. Wow.
So yeah, here we go.
We're about wrapping up our wild vidcast.
Into the wild.
Into the wild.
You never know what
Thank
can
you,
happen.
guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in to our first vidcast episode of the season. We have 2 more to follow. Hope you guys
Thumbs
tune in
up.
on the 2.
Like,
Like and share our
Subscribe.
episode.
yeah, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Ciao.